Welcome back to another video. Today we're back to talk about the JoJoLands. So JoJoLands chapter 4 came out actually yesterday, and I'm getting to it now, and we're continuing on from what happened last chapter with the whole gang trying to basically steal the diamond and get out the house before Rohan notices. And you'll notice this chapter is mostly about just Rohan cleaning up house, basically like putting on a show and showing like the difference between our current like gang of members right now and a seasoned stand user. And I think it was a really good chapter, and it also wasn't a long chapter, only being like 37 pages, and there's like 2 pages of it just having to cover. So it's a really like decently paced chapter, and it was really good. But we're gonna get into it. So the chapter starts off with Rohan once again recollecting and talking about the rain, and basically Jodio starts like calling the gang, telling everyone that he's that Rohan's a stand user and that they need to get out the house right now. And then we cut back to Paco and basically Usagi talking about how like, oh, we gotta get this string off. Remember the string from last chapter that was like attacking them? Right now it's attached to Paco's like ankle, and it's attached to Dragona's like wrist. And they're both trying to figure out like what to do, and even like Paco's like yelling at Usagi to tell him like, yo, give me the scissors, I need to cut this thing off. And then Usagi gives Paco the scissors and ends up starting to use it, and then it's not working. Like, it's not working at all. Like, he's trying to cut it and it's not working, and it actually ends up like one of the pieces of the scissors actually end up going into Paco's like ankle and actually like cuts him really bad. And while everyone's panicking, Paco's basically like yelling about how like, oh, this dumb security system is really dumb and like uses natural minerals, like this is crazy. But then Usagi like informs like Paco like, no, y'all are tripping, this is not no normal security system, this is a stand. And when everyone's asking like, whose stand is this, Usagi points to the cat from last chapter, and we get randomly, like, I ain't gonna lie, when I flipped the page and I saw this like page spread, this might be one of the cleanest page spreads of all of JoJo. Like, look how well done this like actual panel is. You see how crisp this cat looks? Like, this is like the nicest drawing of a cat I've seen in an anime before, or anime manga. And it was pretty funny because when I just flip the page and you just see like the more simple like pages, like the more simple drawings of the characters, because you know this is a monthly manga. You know, sometimes with monthly manga, it looks better than it normally does for weekly, but like sometimes it's like a little rough because you have to rush to get these chapters out. But like you'll see like when it went to the next page and I saw how crisp the cat looked, I was like, dang, this is like one of the like best pages, like one of the most nice looking panels from this part so far. But I'm getting distracted. But the cat basically walks away, and Paco and like is like basically like cursing Usagi out, like telling like you're actually crazy, you're insane. And then Usagi like informs Paco about how like cats, like it can be cats, animals, humans, it doesn't matter, anyone can have a stand and see stand abilities. And then Jodio informs Dragona over like the earpiece that like, yo, Rohan's back in the house and y'all need to like watch out. And so after they hear that Rohan's in the house, basically about to walk up to them, they all like put their masks on, and they're basically like still trying to figure out how to get the string off. And then Dragona comes up with a good idea to use smooth operators to take it off, but she does it differently than what I thought she was gonna do. I thought she was just gonna get smooth operators to like rip off the string, and it doesn't work. But she actually instead, I think like she uses the smooth operators to like stretch apart her hands. That's what it looks like. So basically like she stretches out her hand to where like she can like slip through it. Basically, like she can like slip her like thumb through the string and it just comes off. And he even has like this cool, like you see this cool like pose that they do whenever they take off the string. You see like this really cool pose, and then you see that after they take it off, the string like disappears. And then basically Usagi is like telling you like, I told y'all it was a stand, I told y'all that's why it disappeared and stuff like that. And then basically, I thought that like Dragona was gonna use her smooth operators to help like Paco do it, but Paco actually decides to do it his own way, where like he puts the shard or like the part of the scissors that broke off earlier, uses that, and then uses his stand the hustle, which allows him to like move like his muscles and contort and stuff like that. And he puts like the scissor piece inside of basically the string, and basically like makes his like muscles start to vibrate really hard, and it basically like I think causes like a fire, or like it looks like it basically like blew up. I couldn't even tell if it was a fire or it blew up, because I kind of had like this like little like fiery effect, or maybe that was supposed to be like a spark effect. And basically the string like comes off, and basically after that they're all like, okay, we got an escape now. And then Dragona notices that Paco's bag is open, like the backpack is opening, and they remember that they put the jewel in there. And so they turn around and they see that the jewel is on the floor. And Dragona's like, I'm pretty sure I closed the backpack. Am I tripping? And then they turn around and everyone notices that like, yo, Dragona's turning around, and Dragona starts to walk to the diamond and is about to pick it up. And then right when they're about to pick it up, they see another hand about to pick it up, and it's Rohan. And he has like this real creepy panel where he's just basically standing there from across like the wall, basically trying to be like conspicuous as hell, like trying to be not conspicuous. That's what I'm basically trying to say. He's basically like trying to be like in the corner, trying to be like sneaky and stuff like that. And Rohan basically like lock eyes, and you see like Rohan just like standing, like just sitting there in this weird pose. And you can see like actually like on Rohan's face, like you can see he's not nervous at all. Like you can see him like no sweat drops. He looks like super clear and knows exactly what he's doing. While you look on Dragona's face and they're like panicking. Like you can see the sweat going down their face. And I just like that they're Araki's basically showing the difference between like this young group of people that are just now getting into like stands and stuff like that, compared to someone like Rohan, who's had his stand for a long time, is definitely like, you could tell has had his stand for a long time, is definitely like more accustomed to stand battles, which we don't even know if this Rohan has been through stand battles, but it looks like he has because of how confident he is through this chapter. And this is like when you start to see like Rohan basically thrashes the group, but we're gonna keep on going. And so Rohan like asks Dragona, like, you're the one that opened the safe, and that he's very impressed that they were able to open it, and then warns Dragona that if you pick up the diamond again, you'll be in danger. And so as soon as Dragona hears that, they back up. And then at first when they backed up, Rohan was like, oh, you actually listened to my like warning. But Dragona's like, nah, I'm just feeling bad for you. Like, we're gonna have to tie you up now since you've seen us. Basically like backing up, saying like, yo, I can't focus on the diamond no more because you're the main threat now. I gotta put you in a pack, basically. And so Paco and Usagi start to show up, and then Rohan starts counting them out, basically like, oh, there's 3 of y'all, and you mentioned something about tying me up, and says like, that's gonna be like, there's no way y'all gonna be able to get away with that. Basically, he's telling them like, yo, y'all not gonna be able to tie me up because I'm actually gonna be the one putting y'all in the pack because y'all trying to take the diamond. And then right when Dragona hears that, they notice that their hand starts to like actually like start like messing up, and it starts actually turning into a book. Like it starts like, it opens up and you can see like pages and stuff like that. And this reminds you about earlier, like a page earlier, when they like basically like looked at each other. You can see like a little panel where Rohan like slightly touches Dragona's like arm, or like her slightly touches Dragona's hand. And so that's how like Rohan's ability is able to activate now. And so as soon as that happens, Rohan is able to instantly like tell a little bit about Dragona, and informs them about how Dragona is 18, and that Dragona came here with 4 people, and that it's just a simple burglary. And Dragona and everyone's like surprised, like how does he know that? And this informs Rohan that there's also like one more person outside the house on lookout. He like comes to his senses like, oh, that's the person that made that rain earlier. And so all of them are telling him like, how you know that? They're basically like freaking out a little bit. And then Rohan starts to like walk towards them and telling them like, yo, how much do y'all know about the diamond? And Rohan actually after this starts walking up to them and starts asking them like, how much do y'all know about the diamond? And then telling them a little bit about their ability, and telling them like, yo, I'm able to read what's written inside your bodies, and also that he's not that mad about what happened, and he's not gonna do like a lot of damage to them. He just wants to know how much they know. And so Rohan starts to walk up to like Paco, and Paco's like telling him like, yo, don't move, don't do nothing, or I'm gonna get violent, like doing that stuff. And you can even see like that the other characters are nervous. You see Usagi's like sweating, you can see Dragona is sweating, and you don't really see if Paco's sweating, but you can definitely tell like he's like on edge. And then as soon as Rohan gets any closer and starts to activate his ability, and even says Heaven's Door, so he still has Heaven's Door, and you can even see a little bit of Heaven's Door, and it looks really similar to what it looks like in like Dust Spoke, and also like in part 4. You can definitely tell this is definitely Heaven's Door, and so far it has the same abilities that it's had in part 4 and in Dust Spoke. So I'm pretty sure it's like basically this Rohan's basically the same Rohan that we just all know. I don't think there's any big differences so far from the other Rohan. And then right when Rohan's about to activate his ability, you actually see like Paco basically like not teleport but move super fast to like the ceiling, and ends up grabbing Rohan by his neck, and it's basically like warning him like, yo, like I'm about to put you in a pack, basically, and starts telling the rest of the gang to like start grabbing the zip ties so they can tie him down. And while Paco is telling the gang to basically get the zip ties, Rohan tries to touch Paco with like their hand, but then actually right when that happens, it's weird. Like it's a really weird panel where basically like Paco able to like, he moves his like muscle in a way to where like Rohan couldn't touch him. I think like he actually like makes his arm, basically like Rohan's arm go through his arm, so like he couldn't touch him, and actually like keeps his hand kind of stuck. And so they start to grab the zip ties, and then Rohan actually comes up with a good plan, because remember, he still has the diamond in his hand. So he actually like grabs the diamond, like clenches it, and actually throws it at Usagi and Dragona. And right when that happens, it activates basically Rohan's ability, because Rohan touched the diamond and is able to, like, when they touched it, they also get affected by the ability, basically. So that's kind of cool. I don't remember if Rohan could always do that in like the other parts, where if he touches something then throws it at someone, they it can activate Heaven's Door if they touch it. I don't remember if that's ever happened in part 4 or when Thus spoke. So if it has, let me know down in the comment section below. But that was definitely like very interesting to see. And as soon as that happens, Usagi instantly like goes unconscious and like falls down with a page open on his face. And you actually see like Paco start to ask like, what are you doing? And then while he's asking Rohan, that Rohan actually gets to jump on him and actually like opens up a page on him too. And so he ends up like letting him go. He actually ends up letting go of Rohan and actually falls to the ground also unconscious. And then Rohan starts to say, like, starts to tell Dragona that now he knows who they are, about how this guy is Paco, that they all have a boss that's named Meryl, and basically how like their occupation and stuff like that, and about why they're here and how they found out about the jewel by them finding out by just through simple customs and by their boss, and that they only came here to steal the diamond because they wanted a share of the money from it. And when Rohan hears that, he actually says that he's relieved that it was such a simple reasoning for why they were here to get the diamond. And that tells me more about, there's been a lot of theories in the community about like why Rohan is in Hawaii right now, and a lot of people think it's because of the rocks that are inside the lab that we saw, but like we don't know for now. But like all we know is that he's actually like pretty happy that like this gang of Jodio in the group only came to just get the diamond for money. They didn't come here for like some other reason, which leads into the theories about other people saying that the main reason that he's here was because of the rocks, the volcanic rocks from last chapter, or if it's not even the volcanic rocks, that there's just a bigger reasoning for why he's here in Japan, and he's just happy that like they're only there for the diamond and only for money and not for something crazy. And so you actually see Rohan starting to like approach Dragona, and this is actually the end of the chapter where Dragona basically like holds her hands and actually starts to like clench them and says, I'm absolutely sure. I've been holding it. I've had it ever since I caught it. I'm certain that right now it's in my hands. And then you see a panel of like her holding her hands, or like her hands are like pointed out, and you see the diamond in the middle on the floor. I can feel it in them right now. And you see her like touch her hands, and then the chapter basically ends with this last little panel where it shows the diamond rolling, and basically Dragona is still holding her hand out. And that's basically the end of the chapter. And I was a little confused on this last page. I have no idea what this is supposed to mean. Like, I don't know if it means like, oh, the diamond. I'm pretty sure the diamond has some like magical properties at this point. I don't think it's just a money thing. Maybe because at this point, like, it's acting weird, and even Dragona is like saying like, yo, like, what's going on? I'm pretty sure I was holding the diamond, but I'm not now. Like, it was a weird panel for me. I was trying to comprehend it. Like, I read it over twice, and I was just like, what is it supposed to be? I'm so confused. Like, what is it supposed to be? But that's basically the end of the chapter. And basically the chapter is basically about Rohan just stomping the crew. Like, basically they all try to jump him, besides Usagi. Usagi was the only one that wasn't really doing anything. Like, you could tell that like this gang is just starting, and like the only one that's like really about action is kind of Paco and Dragona, because you saw that Dragona was like saying like she only backed up from the diamond because she was like, okay, we got to focus on the threat, which is you, Rohan. But you could tell like that everyone in the group was like kind of nervous, besides Paco. Paco was really the only one that was about the action, that was really about like actually like putting his hands on Rohan. And so everyone else was kind of like backing up in Usagi and stuff like that. And we actually didn't get to see a lot of Jodio this chapter. We saw him one panel, and then we saw him another panel when like he's talking on the earpiece to Dragona. So we didn't get really see Jodio this chapter. I'm assuming next chapter we're gonna see Jodio, because this chapter Paco and Usagi were both incapacitated, so I'm pretty sure they're not gonna be able to really do anything unless Rohan's knocked out, because unless he's knocked out, his ability is still gonna activate, and so they can't really do anything. So I think next chapter we're gonna get like a Dragona Jodio team up versus Rohan, and they're probably gonna beat Rohan or incapacitate him. But it was really, really cool. We got to see Heaven's Door and see that Rohan, it like basically confirmed that Rohan does have Heaven's Door, and that he somehow does not have the string ability. He doesn't have that, and that basically the string ability does belong to the cat. And Rohan even said last chapter he has no idea about that cat either, so we don't know anything about that cat. All we know is that it has a weird ass string stand, and that it was roaming around the house before the gang got there, and it's roaming around the house right now while the gang's there. And Jodio is still on lookout, and right now the whole group is getting basically curve stomped by Rohan. Rohan's basically showing that like I'm a seasoned stand user, like y'all not really about this life for real. Y'all not ready for a person like me. And it was, I think it was a really good chapter, and it wasn't long. Like I said, it was only like 37 pages. So, and like the first 2 pages were just cover spreads. So it was like really, really nice to actually like get like, this is a really nice chapter to see, well paced, just a fight, and like continue with this Rohan fight. And I'm surprised we didn't get any flashbacks this chapter, like at all. And I think we're probably gonna not get as many flashbacks for now for a little bit, and we're actually gonna focus like more in the present about what's going on right now, which is the Rohan heist thing. So I think that's a good thing, and I find it really enjoyable. I do like this fight so far, and I actually cannot wait for next chapter. So I think that's everything I want to say about the chapter. It's pretty straightforward, besides the last thing with the last panel on the last page about how the diamond is. So let me know any theories down below about what you think about the new chapter, or what you think is going to happen next chapter. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and hit that bell button to post it consistently. And I'm going to see you guys next time. Peace.